this for you guys. Okay, I did this in a school in London last year, or the beginning of this year. So I went to this school, and I typically talk to teenagers, so 5th grade and higher. Well, I went to this school in London, and I didn't know it, but it was grades 1 through 12. And that's the first time I've ever been in a room with 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th graders. So the little kids were all at my feet sitting on the floor. And I thought, well, this is interesting. I don't really have a presentation for little tiny kids and 3rd graders and 4th graders and all that. So let's see, what can I do that will be really, really impactful that every kid in the room will remember always? So I took a piece of paper and I went, okay, when you leave here and you go outside into the schoolyard, he said, you're going to see pieces of paper on the ground. If you walk along and you walk over the pieces of paper, you look down, you notice them, you just walk along, they're just pieces of paper on the ground. Well, you're part of the problem. If you continue to do that and you don't ever pick the piece of paper up and you just continue to notice it's there and you just continue to walk past it, you're part of the problem. If you keep on doing that, one day you yourself will be the problem because it will be you who's throwing the paper on the ground. Okay. The reverse of that is you see a piece of paper on the ground and you pick it up and you go find a trash bin to throw away. Well, if you keep on doing that, one day you yourself will become the solution. Now you're the solution. And see, what I did was, when I got done showing them that example, I went, that's what lying is. You see, lying is the piece of paper on the ground. When you don't pick it up, you're part of the problem, because lying is part of the problem. It's not part of any kind of solution at any time, anywhere. So now you see, once I've showed you this thing with the piece of paper, okay, so you've seen the thing with the piece of paper. And if you leave the paper on the ground, you're part of the problem. So if you leave the paper on the ground, you're part of the problem. So what do you think will happen the next time you see a piece of paper on the ground?
We'll pick it up.
For the rest of your life, you'll pick it up.
Aww.
For the rest of your life, you'll pick it up. Why? Because you won't ever forget this. Never. You'll never forget this thing about the piece of paper and seeing the paper